What's going on, guys? You know the drill. Today we are looking at some of the future shows coming out in 2025. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so it should be fun as it's more of just me talking and ranting. So let's just hop right into it. Bro, anime is in such a boom right now. Can we please talk about that? Like, there are so many season 2s, 3s, etc. of animes coming out next year. Just skimming the list so far, we have Apothecary Diaries, Solo Leveling, One Punch Man, like a lot of good hits coming very soon. Not to mention, we got some anime that are not confirmed yet, such as the Chainsaw Man movie in season 2, JJK season 2, and like Hell's Paradise season 2. The anime scene just feels so alive compared to others. Like, I miss some of the hype for newer cartoons we got a couple years ago. It's funny because the more I talk with people and see posts online, anime is just so much more widespread than a lot of American media. Like, there's that niche of people who want to see things made in Hollywood, of course, including myself. So, but the audience may seem to be larger. Like, for instance, Inside Out 2 did extremely well in the box office in the US. That's actually a bad comparison as it's a multi-million-dollar movie. But regardless, anime is just being watched everywhere. More younger people are watching anime, especially with it being more accessible. And lots of it being made that is just higher quality than some other types of shows or movies. That also reminds me, we're getting the Demon Slayer trilogy movie series, most likely starting next year, which is going to be down in the books as the biggest trilogies to release in theaters in the last decade. I guarantee that. The amount of money that is going to be made is going to be unreal because Demon Slayer is just that popular everywhere. Finally, if I haven't been glazing over anime enough, there are also some awesome originals coming out, such as Sakamoto Days, Rooster Fighter, Takamine-san, and more continuations like Rent-a-Girlfriend Season 4, consequential, oh my god, I butchered it, QQ special anime, Tokyo Revengers spinoff, and oh baby, it's looking like a great year for anime! But let's switch it up a bit by talking about some Cartoon Network stuff, because there's always something being said about this network. Something I found surprising was the Clone High reboot's cancellation. For those who watched my review of the first season a while ago, Clone High was an early 2000s comedy that got renewed for a season after the original one regained popularity during COVID. The reboot wasn't detritus, but had less of the charm that the original one did, and felt more like a cash out. I'm not that surprised it failed, if I'm going to be honest, but I hope the network moves past this and creates original stuff, because rebooting a series like this just won't work. But you know a series that would work as a reboot? Ben flippin' 10. Now, during San Diego Comic-Con, a new Ben 10 comic book series was announced, which is pretty hype. I'm not much into comics myself, but Ben 10 is one of my favorite franchises out there in the West, and truthfully can surpass a lot of these animes I was mentioning before, if they just leveled up the maturity notch just a bit. But yeah, I'll keep my eye out for the comic, because if there's enough success and prayers for us Ben 10 fans, a new series is in the works. Fiona and Cake are also confirmed for a new season, which is pretty cool. I have this weird relationship with Adventure Time, by the way, because I've only seen it in bits, never actually gone through the whole series and enjoyed it that way. I love Adventure Time, though it feels weird to say, knowing I've never actually completed the series, but I know the first season had good ratings, so I'm happy to see a new season greenlit. Another thing we have to talk about is Regular Show getting a reboot series. So yes, I did say rebooting Clone High was a bad idea, which it was, but rebooting Regular Show is a whole other can of worms. If you've been on the channel for a few years, you'll know I love Regular Show. I've made several videos on it for its fun, compact universe that is relatable, funny, and genuine. This is one of the realest shows I've seen from a kids show, in which it's chaotic but amusing. A reboot is a very interesting idea. I wouldn't be on board if the creator, couldn't tell, wasn't on it, but he is working on it. He's still fresh with his comedy and style, as we saw from Close Enough a while back, so I think this could be a success. It could also fail and worsen the the reputation of the show, but so many people also really enjoy the show, and there's still a big community for the show, so I think it will do well even if it's mediocre. We'll have to see, because the show did end quite well if people forgot, so I cannot wait to see where the direction this show goes. It wouldn't be a Cartoon Network discussion, however, without talking about Gumball. One thing these networks need to do is stop relying on reporters in the media to spread information. This movie and reboot has been in the backlog for years at this point, and this show is probably the most popular on the network right now. There was a tease of the movie a while back, but I believe that was by CNEU, so I just want there to be more communication, teasing, etc., because it's felt like the hype was just forgotten about. But of course, this is one of my favorite shows to date. It's hilarious and has shaped some of my humor because of the quips, and the style is so unique compared to any other show that it just naturally pulls you in. And I just want to see the dang movie already. And finally, the most promising news coming from Cartoon Network is the new crossover special Crisis on Infinite Mirths. Not a lot of people even know about this special, but it's going to be a massive crossover special featuring every Cartoon Network character. My only criticism with an episode like this is it kind of throws Pibby under the bus. For those who don't know, Pibby was a pilot series on Adult Swim about this preschool cartoon character taking on an evil that corrupted a number of cartoons on the network. The show looked very compelling for a darker and interesting approach at a crossover, and it blew up on the internet, but for some reason was eventually canceled. But it featured a lot of classic characters, so it feels like it was shafted for this, which is probably going to be a fun crossover, but nothing enticing or nearly as interesting as Pibby could have been. Alright, so the final bits I have here are just miscellaneous. No real category, just things to look out for in 2025. Firstly, Invincible Season 4 was confirmed, which I only find funny because Season 3 hasn't even come out yet. I made a video about the first season when it came out initially, and I was going to do the same for Season 2, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't wasn't because the show fell off, but the release order killed my hype for this show. Action-based shows rely heavily on hype from big scenes and characters. Invincible releasing 4 episodes on the new season, then waiting 5 months to release the second half of the season was such a poor choice by Amazon and genuinely killed the hype for the show for me. It's really bad. Like, I do not understand why they did this at all. The first season was so hyped. It felt like a breath of fresh air for superhero animated shows. You have to maintain that hype, and they completely threw it away. One tip for people trying to garner attention in an audience nowadays: you have to ride with hype. The fact Invincible started to air without the final bits of the season made people forget about it and lose emotions of the season, such as Nolan's return. It was such a poor choice by Amazon, and I just hope they don't make the same mistake going forward. But ignoring the air dates, season 2 was fire. Like, I don't want to spoil it completely, but if you like gory action shows with deep characters and high stakes, definitely check out Invincible, as now you can watch the show without having to wait so long to finish it. I unfortunately have been spoiled by a couple things for what's to come, and the show, at least for me, might get a little more hype, but appears to be going in a direction that I do not like. If you know, you know. All I'm going to say is I'm not a fan of the multiverse use in these superhero shows / movies, which is probably why I really like the first season. But regardless, I love Invincible. I'll write it out until the very end. There are also a bunch of new shows coming out on Adult Swim this upcoming year, which is awesome to see because this is low-key the best network right now, and I want to engage with more Adult Swim content. We got Creature Commandos, Common Side Effects, Invincible Fight Girl, and Infinity Paradise Lost, which are all titles that look very interesting, and I'll keep my eyes out for. I have nothing else really to say here, as these shows are still in the early stages of advertisement, but I like how Infinity Paradise Lost is most likely a reference to Paradise Lost. Never actually read the book, but just found it pretty cool. And finally, we have the blockbuster films. Here are the ones I actually just care about. We have Zootopia 2, it's gonna be awesome. I love the first one, and I hope the second one keeps the charm of the film, because the movie nailed its story. There are a bunch of SpongeBob spin-offs also confirmed, I think a year or two ago at this point, and I know a Sandy Cheeks one is coming soon now on Netflix, and there's going to be a Plankton one next year. I love SpongeBob, so maybe I'll check these out. And finally, we have the Minecraft movie. Bro, this crab was given the gumball treatment. Wasn't this film teased like years ago? I can't remember this point. I don't know, but I love Minecraft, probably my favorite video game of all time, so I'll watch this, flip it, we'll see. One of my buddies actually wrote a whole story for Minecraft, like a Minecraft series, kind of like Minecraft Story Mode, I don't know. So I'll be cross-referencing that when I see it, but yeah, it's pretty cool, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it for 2025 thus far. There's a lot more stuff to come. It's just, I've seen a lot of news recently, especially after Comic-Con, so I just really want to talk. But if you guys want to suggest other things I should check out possibly next year, let me know. But that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.